For our group project, our research question was, how does one's parents' social class and upbringing impact the success and performance in school and career paths and choices? Here are our findings from the interviews that we each did.
I interviewed 3 people that are from different social classes: upper class, upper middle class, and middle class. Several family factors, including differences in social classes and the relationship between them and their parents, made them pick different majors and aim for distinct future career paths. The first interviewee is a freshman majoring in film and media studies in the University of Washington, Seattle. He identified his social class as the upper class. He had a decent amount of freedom growing up. His parents fully supported his hobbies. Despite the injury that prevented him from becoming a professional soccer player, he quickly found his career goal now, entering the movie-making industry. His parents always encouraged him to do things that he's passionate about. His teacher also strengthened his confidence, and he is determined to choose this as his major. His parents started their own business as the founders of a sport equipment company and an education company. Growing up, they taught him to become sincere, honest, and extroverted. They always told him to be grateful for his life, stick to his goal, and work for it consistently. He did what they told him to do, and he's striving towards his goal by studying hard in classes and making many movies with his classmates. This case proved the conclusion of the article, the relation of social status to the career decision-making. It showed that students who perceive and report themselves as having greater economic resources, social power, and social prestige than their peers report more certainty and comfort in their career decision. Also, his case shows that family influence is possibly related to one's career choice and motivation, which backed up the viewpoint of the article. The role of family influence in academic satisfaction on career decision-making, self-efficacy, and happiness. The second interviewee is a freshman majoring in economics in the University of Toronto. He identified his social class as the upper middle class. He made the decision himself, but his parents both chose econ and finance as their college majors, and they both worked hard in banks, which had a profound influence on his choice. Since he was young, his parents cultivated his interest in finance and stock market by teaching him the basic knowledge of stocks and encouraged him to invest in it. Gradually, he learned a lot from him and gained a sense of achievement from getting profits from stock market. Even now, he's communicating with his parents with the problems he has in classes on the stock market. His parents both came from humble beginnings, started as interns in several banks after graduation, got full-time offers, and just worked hard to become managers. He wanted to continue the heritage of his parents by continuing to work in the finance industry as an analyst. It proved the study of the article the influence of the parents-offspring relationship on young people's career preferences. The close relationship between him and his parents did lead to the fact that he chose a career path similar to his parents and have desired job characteristics similar to his parents' jobs. The third interviewee is a sophomore double majoring in data science and global studies in UCSB. He identified his social class as the middle class. Growing up, he is extremely interested in history, geography, and politics, which makes him choose global studies major and his initial goal as becoming a diplomat. However, during high school, his parents suggested him to find a job with more potential opportunities and higher salaries, like statistics and data science. He listened and started taking AP statistics and computer science. After that, he generated some interest in it and decided to double major in data science, and also because he is unsure if he can find a job in global studies area. This case proves the conclusion of the article, the relation of social status and the career decision-making as well. Due to the financial stress he and his family are in, he had to consider that data science had better job opportunities and higher salaries in general, even if his genuine interest is in the fields of politics, geography, and history. In summary, the 3 interviews led to several conclusions. First, the higher social class an individual is in, the more support one will get from their parents. Therefore, the more chances the individual is going to have to explore interests and find out the most suitable area for them and become determined towards major and career path. Second, the better one's relationship with the parents is, the more similarities one's future job and career path will have with the parents. Overall, family factors are positively related to individuals' career choices.
The first person I interviewed is going to be a third-year transfer at UCSB starting in the fall. He recently graduated from Cuesta Community College with a sociology degree and will continue studying sociology at UCSB. He hopes to pursue a career related to sociology, but does not know exactly what he wants to do yet. This person did not start out as a sociology major and actually started as a business major. He then switched his major once he took a sociology class because he found it to be very interesting. The relationship between him and his parents is a good and healthy relationship. His dad was a sociology major and currently works as a social worker. His mom is an accountant, and this was not interesting to him. His parents wanted him to attend Cal State Chico like they did, but he ultimately chose UCSB. He feels great about the path he is on education and career-wise and doesn't have any regrets. This person went to community college first, then transferred to UCSB to save money. The community college he went to offered 2 years free of tuition. Once he attends UCSB, he will have to take out loans while working part-time to pay for college and necessities. His parents will also take out loans to help pay for his college. This person does not travel much during breaks from school, but does occasionally travel to Mammoth. He is from California and grew up in a suburban neighborhood in a small town on the Central Coast. He attended a public high school in the small town he grew up in. What I took away from this interview is that he is from a middle-class family and is following his father's educational path, but with enough difference that he isn't being forced or heavily influenced. The second person I interviewed is a third year at UCSB and is a communication major. He does not know what to do after college career-wise, but is enjoying studying communication. This person switched their major a few times while attending community college. His dad and his mom had different educational experiences. His dad became a firefighter after 2 years at community college, while his mom attended a community college and transferred to UCSB. His mom got her bachelor's degree in psychology and currently works as a supervisor for the nonprofit CASA. The person I interviewed had no intention to do either of these careers, therefore he chose to study communication when he transferred to UCSB. He got his associates in psychology from his community college, but then decided he wanted to study a different field. He does not have the best relationship with his family, and they aren't pushing him to pursue a certain degree or career as long as he gets a bachelor's degree. The family is a middle-class family, and they grew up in a simple suburban neighborhood in California. He currently works part-time and is taking out loans to pay for college. What I took from this interview is that he followed a different path from his parents and wasn't pressured into pursuing a specific career, comes from a middle-class family, and that he also does not have a great relationship with his parents. The third person I interviewed is a senior at UCSB who's graduating in the fall of 2023. She is an anthropology major who plans on attending graduate school. She has a great relationship with her family, and they are proudly supporting her. Her dad is a preacher and works in the Navy. Her mom ran a daycare at her home, but then recently decided to retire. She did not want to go down any of those paths and wanted to get a degree in anthropology. This person that I interviewed switched her major multiple times, but eventually landed on anthropology. She started out at San Jose State, but then transferred to community college. After she completed community college, she transferred to UCSB. She is from California and grew up in a city outside of San Diego. Her college is being paid for due to her dad being in the Navy, so she isn't taking out any loans, but she is currently happy with where she is at education-wise and plans on continuing her education after UCSB. What I took from this interview is that she's from a middle-class family, has a great relationship with her parents, and is choosing a different career path from her parents.
My first interviewee is a third year majoring in sociology at UCSB. Based on their family background, she is lower middle class. She originally wanted to major in criminal justice or something along those lines, but our school does not have that major. She also originally wanted to go to out-of-state schools because she found out that many out-of-state schools have great programs for criminal justice. Her plans had to change when she was diagnosed with a health issue during high school. She had to stay in California to be close to her medical provider. Thus, she only applied to UCs because CSUs had a separate application with more fees, and that would be too expensive for her. Once she decided to come to UCSB, she chose sociology as her major because it was close enough to her original major. She also learned that our school has a great program for sociology. She originates from the Inglewood neighborhood near Los Angeles. Neither of her parents work in her desired career path, yet she witnessed the horrors of social injustice in her community. There is a stark divide between social classes throughout the neighborhoods near her hometown. She grew up exposed to this reality, thus her immediate environment plays a huge role in her desired career path. My second interviewee is a third-year double majoring in sociology and political science at UCSB. Based on her family background, she's lower class. She went to a career technical education school for high school, so she had to choose her career path starting all the way back in high school. She originally wanted to be a writer or author and chose multimedia. However, the school put her in law as the intended career paths, so that is where she was exposed to many resources and opportunities that eventually fueled this passion. She got to take specific classes, go on field trips, have mentorship sessions, and did local internships pertaining to this particular field. Since her family is struggling financially, they push her to prioritize school so that she could one day support them. Because of this, they treat her as if she was already a lawyer. She is also a first-generation college student, so she feels a lot of pressure from her family to keep up this path to a successful, high-paying career. Her parents do not work in any related field, being that her dad was some type of mechanic and her mom is a CNA working as a caregiver. She wanted to add diversity to this line of work and hopes to make a change by becoming a lawyer and doing congressional fellowship programs. Thus, her resilience, desire to create change in the country, and experiences from high school all shaped her decision to choose this career path. My third interviewee is a fourth-year majoring in agricultural systems management at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Based on his family background, he is middle class. Although his maternal grandfather grew up on a farm and still owns that land, his decision for choosing that major was because of a friend from high school. His friend, who was a year above him, ended up going to that same college with a similar major. The friend advised him that if he chose a major related to agriculture, then there would be a high chance he would get accepted. Cal Poly was his dream school since he toured it with his sister as a little kid. Then, after his friend got in and told him about his experiences there, that solidified this school as his first choice. He did think about changing his major to mechanical engineering, but that thought never went over. He has some regret over that because he feels that most of his major classes were fairly easy. However, he already has a job lined up after college, so he is grateful that his major got him that. Through taking classes for his major, he sparked a passion for irrigation. His job after college is an irrigation automation engineer. If he ends up enjoying this job, then he will have absolutely no regrets about his major at all. Nevertheless, his parents did not influence his decision about choosing this destined career path or major because they both have jobs outside of the agriculture industry. One of them is an English professor and the other is a senior private investigator. Thus, he had to make this decision based on how his life was going at certain points and what he learned at each stage. To summarize my findings, I believe that one's social class and upbringing does play a role in deciding your career path, but that is not the main factor. Family influence seems to be a smaller factor for the three people I interviewed since neither of them chose a career path similar to their parents. This disproves one of the conclusions found from the article entitled "The Role of Family Influence in Academic Satisfaction on Career Decision-Making, Self-Efficacy, and Happiness." The data I collected from the 3 interviews show that various aspects of one's family background and socioeconomic status does shape an individual's environment and experiences. Thus, one's surrounding does influence decision-making for career path. However, life is more complex than that. Life-changing situations can occur that cause us to have to adapt and find a different path than what we were initially wanted. Alternately, decisions can be made while in progress of working towards a more general goal. Then we are able to fine-tune our interests to form a passion that could become our potential career. Nevertheless, I did see that students with parents of lower education level did show greater happiness from academic achievement than that of children with parents who have higher education, like the same article suggests. Family influence does have a positive correlation with career decision self-efficacy because all my interviewees did say that their parents support their career goals and give them positive reinforcements about it. Thus, this article does support many of my findings, but my interview notes do disprove its main conclusion. Although the 3 individuals that I interviewed come from different social classes, they all seem to be doing well in school. They all went to different types of high schools, yet they all go to great public universities in California. It seems that once you get to college, the playing field becomes more even. All things academic rely on just yourself and no expensive tutors or mentors. You need to put in the work to get good grades. The article entitled "The Relation of Social Status to the Career Decision Making" does state that social class is related to one's career decision self-efficacy, but my interviews disprove this. All three individuals come from different social classes, but they all feel confident in achieving their career paths. My interviewee from lower social class knows that she's at a disadvantage due to having less money, but she is still driven to achieve academic and career success. She just has to work harder and hustle while being a full-time college student.
And this concludes our group research project. Thank you so much for listening.